So today I have a special video. It's my first impressions and thoughts about the Battlefield 5 open beta that came out September 6th. And between yesterday and today, I have spent a good amount of time playing the game. And I thought that I would, express my deepest opinions of the game, regardless of the controversy and drama based around EA and DICE and how they basically disrespected the Battlefield community by having a particular person, which I won't mention their name, not because I'm afraid to mention their name, is because I don't feel like they should even be credited, or the respect of saying their name. Everybody knows who it is, the guy from DICE that disrespected, the Battlefield community by basically calling us a bunch of uneducated fucking people and giving basically the Battlefield community an ultimatum of saying, hey, you guys either agree with our fucking agenda or don't buy the fucking game. And a lot of that still is very much embedded within my mind, and I still don't know if I'm going to, spend the $60+ to buy Battlefield 5 and then, kind of go against what I believe, in this particular situation, because I feel like I shouldn't give them even a penny or a dime for the fact that I've been disrespected as a consumer. But in the same time, I thought, well, it's an open beta. It's basically free to the public. And I thought that I will kind of set aside all that drama and controversy, set it aside, forget that it happened, and actually do an honest and open critique of the open beta and kind of talk about, the pros and cons and the good things, the bad things, and, obviously give credit where credit is due and actually critique and honestly critique some of the things that I disagree with and what could be altered and changed in the game to make the game a little bit better, regardless if I'm going to buy the game or not. So I'm going to start with the one thing that I noticed that is, I can't say very significantly different, but it is very much altered or maybe polished. I don't know, kind of like almost like a subgenre of how the whole gunplay mechanics work out in this game. It is ever so slightly different than obviously Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 1. There's, significant differences in the gunplay and the gun mechanics. The one thing that I noticed, just kind of based on my experiences, I could be, unintentionally lying to you, which I don't know. I'm not an expert, but I'm just going off of my experiences. I feel that when in very close proximity of another player, the weapons are very punishing. So you can hit fire, you can aim, and really mow down players with pretty much any weapon up close. The weapons do significant amount of damage up close, so I think that's great. Now, when it comes to mid to far ranges, when it comes to gunfights, I feel that it, based on your shot placement, is how you're going to do in that gunfight. So if a player is in a further proximity away from you, and they engage you or you engage them, you have to have your shot placement very well. You have to know the recoil, you have to know the weapon, and obviously you have to know the maps and how to flank them. If you don't, actually bring them down or kill them or whatever, you got to find ways to get to that player to bring them down or retreat, depending on how you want to go about it. So I feel like the engagements further on are very significantly different. Like, it feels like the damage is reduced, but it's really the same damage. It's just further on it does less damage. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm going to take a sip of this delicious coffee here. I really should get this coffee to sponsor my channel, but I don't have enough subscribers to get a sponsor, at least from my knowledge here on YouTube. But this is a great cup of coffee, man. Nice, black, dark, just no additives, just delicious coffee. But now, back to Battlefield 5. When it comes to the movement system, kind of like a lot of these mechanics blended in together kind of make their own one mechanic. So the gun mechanics and the gunplay in the game, kind of mixed together with the movement system. They work very well in unison. So like kind of like climbing obstacles or climbing or jumping and climbing and mantling over obstacles seems more polished and more fluid. It feels like there's more an aggressive form of movement. It seems like maybe it's based on the way they position the camera around your character, or well, I say camera, but like the way you see or perceive it visually seems a little bit more aggressive. I don't know. Maybe that's for I don't know, immersive purposes. I don't know, but it feels like with the gunplay and the movement mechanics together, it makes the game quite significantly more immersive. And I feel like it's a good polish. I feel like they can obviously polish a few more things. Obviously, the movement system I really don't have any complaints with. The only thing that when it comes to guns and gunplay and gun mechanics that I have an issue with is I feel that some of the weapons may have a little bit too much recoil, but I feel that it's good to have a little bit of a challenge, so I guess I would say don't change that. But the thing that really irritates me when it comes to guns is the amount of ammo that you have, the fact that you have to go to supply depots around the map to get ammo. You can't always rely on your team to, because if all your team are assault, we don't have a support guy to drop us ammo, and then that kind of defeats the purpose of the game, and then it makes you struggle, and then you're more focusing on getting medkits and ammo than you're focusing on the objective and killing the other team, and then that kind of spoils and ruins the point of the fucking game, and it feels like a little bit kind of trying to step away from your typical Battlefield where, you would always have some guy that would have, drop supply crates for people to get, ammo and med kits, and same thing with the medic class, or just in general with the revive system, which I feel is flawed because out of 100 deaths, I probably got revived 4 times. That's a really terrible ratio. Also, the screen that you have when you start bleeding out, you can speed it up or slow it down. There is no guarantee that you're going to be revived by teammates. A lot of times you're going to be stuck when there's other, like 2 or 3 other enemy players, so your teammates will not even attempt to come revive you. And I feel like there should be a third option where you can go back to the respawn screen so you can respawn on your squad or the multiple objective points or spawn points in the map, so that you can get back to playing the game again instead of going through the struggle of going and trying to click a button, speed through that, or make an attempt to, hopefully maybe one of your teammates will think about reviving you, and that is very doubtful because I've encountered very, very often there's players that can revive you. There's no other enemies. They took all the enemies out and they don't revive you. They just go for the objective and run away and let you bleed out, and it's kind of like, why even have that system in the game? And I think that's one flawed mechanic in the game that kind of disappoints me a little bit. Although I would really hope that people would revive. If I have an opportunity, I will revive. Even take that risk of dying and revive a player, because it shows that initiative that you care about another player. And I mean, obviously, the word teammate is, the point is teamwork, right? So you try to do your best to accomplish that. So. Movement system I have no issues with. The gunplay, the ammo, cap should be a little bit higher. We should have definitely more ammo. I think they should get rid of supply depots in general and just have like they had in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4 when it comes to, medic crates and supply crates for ammo and, so you can heal up. The other things that I want to say, like pros and cons. Obviously, the maps are aesthetically pleasing. The maps are great. Rotterdam is my favorite map. The urban environment for a map is probably the best thing that they should go with, and they should make primarily urban maps in this game. I feel like that would be very fun and useful, especially with the mechanic where you can build stuff, fortifications, so on and so forth. I think that would be a lot more useful in an urban setting than in a more open setting like the other map in the beta, which is like a snow map. I do like that map, but there are parts of the map that I don't like because it's almost like the maps are so cluttered with shit that a lot of times it's very hard to spot players up close and from further away. I had not that many issues with that in Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 1. It was a lot more easier to spot players in those Battlefield games than in this one, unfortunately. Have to get a little bit more coffee because coffee is delicious. And I feel like overall, if I was to rate the game from 0 to 10, I would give Battlefield 5 minus the controversy and drama. I would give them a solid 7. There's still a lot of things that they need to polish polish in the game in general. Obviously, make the maps less cluttered. Work on the whole bleed out system, so there would be a third option just to go to the respawn menu. Some people just want to respawn, they don't care about the whole revive mechanic or whatnot. And then I feel like for the most part, like everything is not bad. Obviously, a couple polish here and there. When it comes to weapons, I feel like some of the weapons are a little bit clunky. They're a lot slower than some of the other vehicles in the previous Battlefield games. I really haven't tried flying, maybe like once or twice, and I feel that it's like a failed thing. It's almost like you get in there and it's almost like 10 seconds in you crash. It's like I can't get used to the flying mechanics in this Battlefield for whatever reason. Maybe it's just me. Maybe the mechanics are flawed. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played enough for me to, I haven't flown enough planes in this game to actually have a full detailed experience on that, and I wanted to be truthful and honest about that. When it comes to tanks and other vehicles, I had one or two occasions, and it was kind of fun, but I feel like the vehicles are slower and more clunkier. If they were to be a little bit more speed to some of those tanks and vehicles, I think that would be a little bit funner and easier, and you wouldn't have that clunky feeling. And overall, I like the game, but like I said, the controversy and drama surrounding this game because of EA and DICE kind of still has me at a moment, I'm kind of stuck in a pickle where I don't know if I should get this game or not. Only time will tell and determine if I am going to buy the game. Maybe they'll do something that can kind of make up for the bullshit that they have, bullshit problems that they have caused. And so I really hope that maybe, they'll do something that can turn me back into being, kind of like a loyal Battlefield player. I do like the beta, I won't lie. I do like it. I'm having fun with it. And as of right now, obviously they need to polish things. It is a beta. They delayed the game because they want to adjust a few things and other marketing reasons, obviously. But it's also like, hopefully they can polish some of the things that I've mentioned. Maybe add a few more interesting things. And that's pretty much it. If you like the video, definitely hit the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe, and all that other bullshit. I'm the man. Peace.